Hello and welcome to the Weekend Investing Good, Bad and Ugly weekly review of 17th of May 2024, a dramatic week that went on. But first, please read this disclaimer. It's very important. By proceeding on this video, you acknowledge and agree that returns displayed in this platform are provided for information purposes, not intended to serve as advertisements or promotions to influence your investment decisions. So from the Weekend Investing Research desks, you had all these fantastic content stories out there, whether sell in May and go away works or not. What are the implications of a stable currency? How the options market has become a virtual casino? Where will India be in 2050? FIIs are not able to call the shots anymore. More in-depth discussion there. Why one should be buying your house as soon as possible. A lot of people don't agree, but that's the take there. Stocks can keep you waiting for long, so how to select stocks that don't keep you waiting for too long. Gold technical analysis on why it is in a multi-year bull run. Mm. Good stock, bad price syndrome, uh, that is discussed in this story, and opportunities or threats, whether rising SIPs in Indian market are a opportunity or not. Download the Weekend Investing app and you can get it on Google Play and it's available on the App Store also. Nifty this week was nice comeback from the fall in the previous two. So the low was made on Monday 13th, and then it was recovering, and then there was a very sharp move down on 16th, and the same time a huge up move at the end of the day on 16th, and Friday was more normal. So entire week pretty much, if you see from start to end, was an up week, and you can see that very clearly in the weekly chart. The weekly has closed pretty much at all-time highs. So we've now spent a good 2.5 months in this range of 21,700 and 22,400, and despite there being, you know I wouldn't say rumor, but a sense out of the first four phases of polling that the numbers for the combined entity will be less than 400. That is okay, even if they are 350 and BJP by itself gets a clear majority, that's fine as well. So I think the market is coming gradually to that realization that despite there being slight fall from what the target was earlier mentioned, um, I mean, nothing stops the current trajectory of things. So, uh, more than any other opinion poll, exit poll, speculation thesis, the market price are telling you where the market is looking at. So the market is looking forward. Market is looking opportunistically towards the poll outcome, and it is telling you that it is expecting a positive outcome. The benchmarks for this week: Nifty Next 50 performing 5% gain this week itself. Small caps up 4.6%. Mid and small caps up 4.5%. CNX 500 and CNX 200 up 2.5 to 3%, and Nifty doing 2%. So very good week from a perspective of all the indices. And for the financial year, Nifty is back in the green at 0.6%. Nothing to talk about, but still in the green. And Nifty Next 50 is already up nearly 11% for the current financial year, which is just fantastic. In terms of weekend investing strategies, MI35 clocking 7.9% gain this week itself. This strategy, I can tell you, is the undiscovered gem amongst all the strategies, where we have very few people who've come in and experienced this, but this is doing fantastic. 14.9% already in FY25. MI20, of course, is the most favorite strategy amongst small and mid cap stocks. 7.1% gain, up 13.6 so far. NNF10 is another blockbuster, plus 7% this week, 13.4 for the financial. All cap, all-time winner, 6.9% this week, 5.5% coming back from a down start. HNI Capital Compounder at 6.4, HNI Wealth Builder at 6.1, and others follow suit. India top 10 at 1.3, less than 1.9% here, but for the financial is already beating Nifty by a couple of percentage points. Evergreen up 3.9%, up very nicely at 10% for the financial year. Sectoral overview, real estate took the lead again, 6.6% on real estate, metal 6.5%, up 15% already in FY25, and public sector enterprise stocks at 5.8%, up 13%. So these three sectors are still ruling the top of the charts, and one should be looking at uh, stocks within this sector if one is doing some opportunistic swing trading or buying. Autos also doing 1.9%. Autos are up 8.7% from the financial. Very, very impressive moves in Mahindra and Mahindra, for instance, and some other stocks. IT has been sluggish, but IT has come back a little bit this week, still down 4.3% for the financial. FMCG and PSU banks have been totally flat this week, also for the financial year so far. Pharma for the financial year is minus 0.1%, totally flat here as well. And Nifty, of course, is 0.6%. Here you can see in the sectoral momentum across 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, and 2 weeks, the average ranking. Metals have had the best ranking amongst all metals, real estate, autos, and public sector enterprise. So again, those four sectors which are performing very well sectorally, you can see that across different frequencies of measurement, the momentum score is the highest. And you have IT right down there, banking right down there, PSU banks also right down there in vis-a-vis the other sectors. In terms of strategy spotlight, we have a how late is too late. So HAL, the example that we are taking today, is a very classic example in terms of sometimes we feel that it's already very late in the day to buy a stock, but then a stock may surprise you even then. So HAL uh, was languishing at around 300, 400 rupees since a long period of time. And then post COVID, there was a run from 245 to almost 700 and a subsequent crash back to 350. So this crash that came 50% down, this probably would have unnerved anybody who would have gotten in and essentially keeping this range alive of 580 to 240, 250. But then from this point of 340, it has never looked back, and now it stands at 453. So almost a 12x gain uh, till 17th of May from this point of restart. And you can imagine yourself on this day and not feeling anything great about HAL, government owned company with poor numbers, but this move happened. So as I always say, the numbers will follow, the price will lead the run. The numbers are a snapshot of the past period, past 3 months, past 12 months. They say nothing about what is happening tomorrow or in the next 1 year. The prices are telling you what is happening, in the future. So if you had entered right at the COVID bottom, you would have gotten a 19x of your investment in 4 years. That is the power of uh, some stocks, 1842% from the COVID bottom. But even if you entered post this entire run from 245 to 680, imagine a stock has gone almost 2.5 times. Uh, you would be very, very cautious of buying it conventionally, right? If you don't have a structure or a system how to buy and when to buy. But if you follow momentum, you could have easily caught it here or even earlier and still made this 525% after breakout. So a lot of times we get stuck in the thought that something has gone from 10 to 100, so we have missed out. That stock may be going from 10 to 100 and 100 to 1000. So you can never say how much steam is left in that stock. Yes, of course, if you bought it at 10, that would have been the best case scenario. But even then, you have to try that. If a stock is telling you that I'm hitting new all-time highs subsequently, every week, every week, every week, there is something going on. There is something which the market is yet to absorb in terms of numbers, or in terms of the story. What is going to happen in this stock? But the price is telling you something is happening, right? So that is why the BBC principle, Bhao Bhagwan Che, allow the price to tell you the story that is happening. So NNF10, one of our major strategies, entered HAL only at 11:51, very, very late, you would say, right? And it still is one of our biggest winners, has clocked a 4x gain since then. It's still holding that. So even though you bought it almost after the stock had run 9x from its bottom, we still made 4x on that or 3x on that. So don't worry about what has happened. You worry about, do I have a plan in place where I'll be able to get out in case I'm late at the party, right? So this is how you need to think about stocks that are telling you a story, right? So, but after seeing a stock consolidate for a long period of time, nobody would have, the gumption to buy it here. That is the problem. And that is why you need a, structure to buy, uh, in terms of having confidence in your strategy that I'm going to buy 20 stocks or 50 stocks this year. All are flying. I know some will perform, some will not perform, but the ones that will perform probably will perform much bigger in terms of the outcome versus the small losses that I will take. So being late to enter a stock does not really matter. Uh, what you do with the stock after entry is that what matters, and that is the uh, sort of takeaway from this story. So MI NNF10, this is the summary of the strategy. It's a rotational strategy with Nifty Junior as the key focus area. These stocks are those 50 stocks which have the potential to go to Nifty. So they are extremely, I mean, this group is a special group, this next 50 group, and you can see the kind of performance the index is performing, and we are able to extract strength out of that index and even perform better than that index. So that is the beauty of it. It is rotating monthly. So some stocks will change every month, or maybe there are some months when there are no stocks are changing. The recommended capital is here, and the outlook should be long term in 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 all strategies. So this is all I have for today's edition. We have a great market going. I hope we'll do even better in the coming times. Thanks. Bye.